Your team just scored. You're on your feet, both arms in the air, shouting at a television that cannot hear you. The whole room is noise and motion and pure, uncut joy. And in the middle of all of it, something is watching you. Small, still, unblinking. From the arm of the couch, your cat is studying the strangest thing it has seen all month. You, completely losing your mind. It doesn't understand the game. It will never understand the game, but it understands you far better than you think. And right now, behind those calm eyes, it is working out one simple, urgent question. Is this human happy, or is something very, very wrong? Tonight we're going to climb inside that little head and find out what your cat actually thinks about your World Cup obsession. Because the answer is sweeter and stranger than you'd ever guess. Here's something most people never really notice. Your cat spends its entire life studying you. While you go about your day half distracted, it is watching. The rhythm of your footsteps, the pitch of your voice, the exact way your shoulders sit when you're calm versus when you're tense. To your cat, you are the weather. You are the single most important force in its whole world. The thing that brings food and warmth and safety. So it learns you the way sailors learn the sky. And for most of the year, you are a fairly predictable forecast. Then the tournament arrives. And almost overnight, the calm, gentle giant your cat has spent years decoding turns into someone new, louder, twitchier, glued to a glowing rectangle, riding waves of emotion that seem to come from nowhere. To understand what that does to a cat, we have to start with how they read us in the first place. Cats are quiet experts in human emotion, and they've had thousands of years of practice. Living alongside us, the cats who could read their humans, who knew when to approach and when to disappear, were the ones who thrived. So your cat reads your face. Studies suggest cats can tell a smiling human from a frowning one, and they behave differently depending on which they see. They read your voice too. They know your tone long before they'd ever know your words, and they can hear the difference between warmth and warning in a single syllable. They even read the room through you. When you're relaxed, they relax. When you tense up, they go on alert. It's called emotional contagion, and it runs deeper in cats than we used to believe. Your moods leak into them. So when you spend 90 minutes swinging between agony and ecstasy, your cat isn't ignoring it. It's catching every wave and trying, quietly, to make sense of a storm with no visible cause. Researchers have even found that cats explore a strange room more boldly when their owner sounds calm, and hang back when that same owner sounds anxious. They are taking their cues from you all the time, whether you notice it or not. And here's where it gets hard for them. Because to a cat, the way we celebrate looks almost exactly like the way we panic. Think about what actually happens when your team scores. You leap up, sudden explosive movement. You throw your arms wide. You shout at the top of your lungs. Your whole body floods with adrenaline, and your cat can smell that change in you. Now imagine you understand none of the context. No game, no stakes, no screen that means anything. All you know is that your safe, steady human just erupted into noise and motion for reasons you cannot see. In the wild, that pattern, sudden loudness, big movement, a spike of adrenaline, means one thing: danger. So your cat's very first instinct, the one written into its bones, is not to celebrate with you. It's to freeze, to flatten, to find cover. That flinch you sometimes catch when you cheer isn't your cat being dramatic. It's your cat being a cat, reading your joy as an alarm it can't switch off. Now stretch that single moment across an entire tournament, and you start to see the real cost. Cats are creatures of routine to an almost religious degree. They thrive on sameness, meals at the same hour, play at the same time, a human who winds down when the lights go low. Routine is how a cat feels safe. It's how it knows the world is still working. And the World Cup quietly dismantles all of it. Suddenly dinner comes late because the match ran long. The evening play session vanishes. You're up at odd hours, shouting at midnight, sleeping at strange times. Friends pile into the living room, new voices, new smells, new bodies inside the cat's carefully mapped territory. None of it is dangerous. But to your cat, the predictable rhythm that held its whole sense of safety together has come loose, all at once, for weeks. That's why so many cats hide more during big events. That's why some eat a little less, or get suddenly clingy, or strangely distant. They're not sulking. They're trying to stay steady on ground that keeps shifting under them. And a cat feels that loss of control more sharply than we do. You can tell yourself it's only for a month. Your cat has no calendar, no idea what a tournament even is. No way of knowing this strange new chaos will ever end. For all it knows, this is simply what life is now. But something else is happening over that month, and it's quietly beautiful. Because your cat doesn't just endure the chaos, it studies it. It is building a model of this strange new you. It starts to notice patterns, that the shouting, however alarming, never actually comes toward it. That the wild human always, eventually, comes back down, softens, slows, and returns to the lap it knows. It learns that this loud version of you still fills the bowl, still leaves the door open, still reaches down with the same gentle hand. And slowly, cautiously, many cats recalibrate. The flinch gets smaller. Some of the bolder ones even start to link your eruptions with excitement instead of threat, and creep closer instead of fleeing. Your cat is, in its own patient way, learning to speak a new dialect of you. It is rewriting thousands of years of instinct, in real time, because the thing it cares about most, you, asked it to, without ever saying a single word. And that's the part we almost never stop to appreciate. We look at a cat hiding during the final and we think it just doesn't like the noise. But what's really happening is so much bigger than that. A small predator, wired by millions of years of evolution to treat sudden loudness as a threat to its life, is choosing, night after night, to stay in the room with the creature making that noise. It is overriding its oldest instincts because it has decided that you are worth the discomfort. That is not indifference. That is not judgment. That is trust, in its rawest, most expensive form. Your cat isn't watching your obsession and thinking less of you. It's watching a human it loves light up with a joy it cannot possibly comprehend, and deciding again and again to stay close to that joy anyway. Think about what that actually costs a creature built on caution, to sit there with its heart racing and every nerve screaming at it to run, and to stay anyway simply because you are in the room. If that isn't a kind of love, I don't know what is. So here's how you honor that, without giving up a single match. Give your cat a safe harbor, a quiet room, or a high, cozy spot away from the noise, where it can watch the chaos on its own terms. Protect the non-negotiables. Feed at the usual time, even if it means pausing at halftime, and steal 5 minutes for play before kickoff so the day still has an anchor. Keep one lamp warm and low so the world still feels familiar. And when your team scores and you erupt, glance over, just once, and let your cat see your face. Because to the small creature across the room, you are the whole forecast. And a calm look from you can turn an alarm back into just another strange, survivable night. Your cat will never understand the World Cup, but it has spent this entire month trying to understand you. The least we can do is meet it halfway. If this changed how you see the quiet watcher in your living room, stay with me. Because there's a whole hidden world behind those eyes, and we are only just beginning to translate it.